Hi, today I'll be discussing the four main styles of speech delivery and why you should or shouldn't use any of these types. The four main types are extemporaneous, impromptu, manuscript, and finally memorized. The first one, extemporaneous, means that the speech has been prepared either using organization of various topics and ideas in order to make one coherent topic, or it's been thoroughly researched and compiled in a way that makes sense. Normally, extemporaneous speeches are given with notes. They're not just completely off the cuff, but those notes aren't really a manuscript of sorts. They're more of an outline or a guide that the speaker can follow. Now, even though the speech has been prepared, it still allows the speaker to kind of move away from the topic at hand and be a bit more flexible in what they're able to say at that specific moment. And usually it works best when the speaker really knows what they're talking about and really knows their topic and cares about it. If you didn't care about your topic, then you wouldn't be able to just speak about it without reading exactly from a paper. This speech right now, I would consider to be an extemporaneous speech because I do have a very short list of notes on the stage display, but I'm not reading straight from it. I'm speaking as if I was speaking just about the topic by itself. The next type, though, is an impromptu speech. Now, this is a completely off-the-cuff, unprepared speech, and usually this doesn't happen for anything outside of maybe a substitute speech or fill-in or something that doesn't really need the formality of a completely written-out speech. Now, that isn't to say that it hasn't been prepared at all. There could have been some preparation in the form of just quick notes or some type of organization, but usually they're just completely from the heart. Usually these types of speeches are practice for a bigger, more formal speech, but just speaking by yourself without having to follow any sort of guide is helpful for practicing. The next type, though, is a manuscript delivery. Now, a manuscript has been carefully written out in order for the speaker to just read right off of it. That manuscript can be placed anywhere from a stage display or teleprompter to just a sheet of paper on the podium. Any form at which the speaker can just read straight from it to make sure they don't get anything wrong. Because in a formal business meeting or a government speech or anything like that, you don't want to get something wrong. The only downside to this is that the speaker really has to be able to make it sound natural in order for it to not sound like they're just reading straight off a paper. The last type is a memorized speech. A memorized speech has no notes whatsoever, but it has been organized in the same style that a manuscript speech would, in that it's carefully prepared, but the speaker isn't reading straight from it. They already know their speech by heart. This only really works when the speaker has had time to prepare and they also care a lot about what they're speaking about. If you didn't know what you were talking about, just like an extemporaneous delivery, then you wouldn't be able to memorize it very well and speak it out without having any notes. These have been the four main types of speech deliveries: extemporaneous, which has notes but is just given as is; impromptu, which is completely given as is; manuscript, which is completely written down and nothing's changing; or memorized speech, which is the notes are in your head. Thank you for watching, and I hope this has helped your understanding of it.